Everybody talking about how they gonna pull up in another ninja hood. We gonna have to stop that, man.
It's nothing.
Unite. Pull up.
Pull up. I'ma pull up. Pull up on your block, I'ma pull up. Pull up on your block, I'ma pull up. Pull up on your block, I'm the ice cream man. Don't mistake you for an op, I'ma pull up. Pull up on your block, I'ma pull up. Pull up on your block, I'ma pull up. Pull up on your block, I'm the ice cream man. Don't mistake you for the cops, I'ma pull up.
Girls like he, Shabazz.
Campaign. Fast lane. Living life in the fast lane. Now it's broken down on the couple.
In the name of Allah, the beneficent and merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and that Muhammad is his messenger. And I further bear witness. And we thank Allah for his coming and intervening in the affairs of men, and traveling 9,000 miles to seek and save that which was lost. And I further believe for him raising up one that would teach, lead, and guide us back to our fathers, as the scripture says. I speak none other than the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I would like to thank those two, because they did not leave us, but instead they graced us with with a counselor, with their divine mercy among us today. And I speak none other than the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And in those three great names, I greet all of you in the greeting words of peace, as we say it in the Arabic language, of Assalamu alaikum. I would like to first give a round of applause to all of those brothers and sisters that came before us and spoke. We certainly appreciate them. So let's give them And I am a student of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan under the guidance of our regional student minister, Sharrieff Muhammad. And I would like to first thank them and the laborers of Muhammad Mosque number 15 for allowing me the opportunity to come and speak to you all today. Yes, sir. And I would also like to thank our brother Arzo X for the student coordinator here in Tuscaloosa for inviting us out, and his wonderful staff for doing such a beautiful job with us, and such a beautiful job in this beautiful city. So can we give them a round of applause? And last and certainly not least, I would like to thank all of you for taking the time to be here with us today. Because, as our sister said, it's hard for us to get up early in the morning. No, you're right. And come out to hear the word of God. So, for you to do that, we certainly are appreciative and very, very humble, because you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with us. So please give yourselves a round of applause. So today, my subject matter will be called The Rise of the South.
Go ahead.
Truth and Power. Now, I want us to look at and kind of study the word truth, because hopefully by the end of this today, we would have a higher level of understanding of what it is to have the truth, and to know the truth, and to speak it, and to stand on it.
Yes, sir.
But more importantly, us being right here in the South, and the true history of our people here in the South is extremely important. because it's an integral part of our sojourn here in America.
That's right.
It was here in the South that many of our great-great-great-grandparents were slaves. The earth, the ground, the soil beneath us is soaked with the blood, the sweat, and the tears of those who were slaves and oppressed by our open enemy.
That's right.
That's true.
But through all of that, greatness has come from the South. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Is that right? So the civil rights movement was birthed right about you, right about us.
Yes, sir.
The South was instrumental in the creation of many groups and organizations that will go on to do a mighty work on behalf of black people.
That's right.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So we have the NAACP, the National Association for Advancement of Colored People. You have CORE,
Yes,
which
sir.
is Congress of Racial Equality. You had the SCLC, which is the Southern Christian Leadership Conference.
Right.
And you also had SNCC, which is SN or the SNCC, which is the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee.
Yes, sir.
So all of these different groups were birthed about the civil rights movement here in the South.
That's right.
Amidst this being the headquarters of the clans of America.
That's
right
right.
here in Tuscaloosa.
Yes, sir.
So in the scripture, when it talks about in Psalms, David speaking, says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I mean, that's a literal statement coming about the South.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you couldn't be outside after a certain amount of time,
That's right.
and you could possibly lose your life.
That's
That's
right.
right.
We was lynched, we was beaten, our women were raped and abused, our
Right.
men were raped and abused, so this was happening to us here. But we was able to overcome. We was able to overcome. So you had the Montgomery bus boycott right here in the South, right in Montgomery.
Yes, sir.
Then you had sit-ins in Atlanta, and our brother Dr. Martin Luther King
Yes, sir.
sitting in and standing up. Then we also had demonstrations and marches in Birmingham,
Yes, sir.
showing our fortitude, because living under these type of conditions, somebody standing up was a rare form.
That's right.
No,
You understand what I'm saying? So
Yes, sir.
when you have people that was willing to go on the front line and actually die to say we cannot continue to live under these oppressive conditions,
Sacrifice.
That's right.
that's a blessing.
Yes, it is.
That's really God working.
Yes,
That's
sir.
really God working.
Yes, sir.
So I would like to bring to light, and I know this is not directly in the South, but I want to show us a little bit about ourselves, because it's good that we look in the mirror.
No, you're
Because,
That's right.
because I want to show us ourselves. You know, the minister said that the basis for community development is self-improvement.
That's right.
That's right.
So I want to read this article from the Washington Post, and it's dealing with the Greenwood community, or more popularly known as Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yes, sir.
Before it was destroyed in 1921, Greenwood was one of the most affluent black communities in the country.
That's right.
It was known as Black Wall Street because of the concentrated wealth.
Right.
We lived like we were Wall Street. Remember Otis Granville Clark, then a 105-year-old survivor of the massacre. Before the massacre, Greenwood had a population of more than 100,000 black people. According to the Greenwood Cultural Center's history for the community, it was home to luxury shops, 21 restaurants, 30 grocery stores, a hospital, a savings and loan bank, a post office, hotels, 3 of them, a jewelry and clothing stores, 2 movie theaters, a library, pool halls, a bus and cab service. I'm not done. And a nationally recognized school system with 6 private airplanes and 2 black newspapers. Come on now, let's give up our. So this is showing us a picture of ourselves
That's right.
and what we can do.
Yes.
See, we don't need the white man for anything.
That's right.
We've just been taught that we needed the white man for everything.
That's right.
So, coming up under that type of teaching, and it being passed down generation to generation, and all we know is to go get a job and to work for 25 to 50 years on that job, and then retire not to be able to pass anything to our children is the mindset.
That's right.
But that is really the revolutionization of a slave.
That's right.
It took us out of the fields and put us in the corporate office. They took us out of the fields and they put us in a call center. They took us out of the fields and gave you a driving job or a union job and said, yeah, this is how you make your money. But still, you are my slave.
That's it.
Because you're a slave to that clock.
That's right.
If you don't hit that clock on time,
That's right.
then you understand what I'm saying? You ain't gonna get that money. You got to have that money.
Right, that's right.
So this is how they keep us. This is how they keep us. So this is very, very important because this is the truth. This is the truth. But let's parse that word truth for a minute, because it's very, very specific in what it is.
Yes, sir.
So when we throw it around freely, you come up with these things like, this is my truth, and you know, this is the truth that I have. But it doesn't bring it into the facts.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So as Merriam-Webster dictionary says, truth is the body of real things, events and facts, actuality, the state of being the case or fact.
Yes, sir.
The property as of a statement of being in accord with fact and reality. So when you're dealing with an actual fact, as the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave us in our student enrollment, these are things that can't be debated.
That's right.
Because they stand on truth.
No, you're right.
So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us that the universe is created on the principle of truth.
That's right.
And that principle of truth is what allows the universe to have no beginning and no ending. Because truth is life. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Are y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
So the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, when the South rises, it's all over.
That's right.
It's all over.
It's all over.
Come on now, right? It's all over.
Yes, sir.
Well, why would he say it? He said that because he could see inside of us what we couldn't see inside of ourselves.
Yes, sir.
What we didn't see inside of ourselves, which was God. And that we have the ability to overcome all things.
All
Yes,
things.
sir.
All things.
Everything.
So the white man isn't stopping you and I from becoming the people that God wants us to be.
Yes.
But it's us stopping ourselves
That's right.
because of fear of the white man.
No, you're right.
Because of the lack of knowledge
Yes, sir.
and a belief in that which has no power.
That's right.
So I want us to focus our attention on Bible book Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6, because I want us to kind of think about the knowledge that we have to have when we're talking about truth. And in the scripture it says that my people have been destroyed by a lack of knowledge, from a lack of knowledge.
Yes, sir.
Well, why is that? What is the knowledge? What is the knowledge? Because we came up being taught as Christians that God was some spook. He was
No,
some
you're
mystery. Did I say something wrong?
That's right. No,
That's what we
sir.
was taught. But understanding and taking that teaching and looking at the condition of our people today, that type of teaching has not helped us progress.
That's right.
That type of teaching has not allowed us to change our condition that will take us from being a slave to a free man.
Say that.
So it has no power in it.
That's
The
right.
Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said it has no power to save you. There's no power to change our condition.
No
power.
No power to have you stand up
Yes,
like
sir.
a man and teach the truth.
That's right.
And tell the truth. And stand on that truth.
That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
Yes, sir. All praise is due to Allah. So the minister gave us specific instructions to have the nation revolve around the South. Because the South is very special and near and dear.
Yes.
It's actually home to the original black.
That's right.
No, you're right. I said it's home.
Yes,
For
sir.
blacks.
Yes, sir.
And I speak none of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, who's a
That's
Georgia
right.
born black man.
Yes,
From the
sir.
South, though.
That's right.
From the South, though.
Yes,
All praise is due to Allah. So when you understand that, then you understand your value. Because we think so little of ourselves.
sir. Right.
We think so little of ourselves. We built the great homes in the South.
Yeah.
All those big plantations we see on the movies.
That's right.
All those big plantations that you see, these big grand little homes in the South, we built it.
Yes, sir.
With our blood, sweat, and tears.
That's right.
We created the cotton gin.
Yes, sir.
Eli wasn't born in the cotton field. He had no reason to create no cotton gin. Is that right?
Yes,
Come
sir.
on, talk to me.
No,
So
right.
he didn't have no reason to create a cotton gin. So where did he get it from?
Absolutely.
He got it from a slave.
That's right.
Who created it to make our labor easier.
That's right.
To decrease the amount of labor we had to do in the field.
Right.
But he stole
Yeah.
That's right.
it. You know the telephone that we always on?
Right.
Yes, sir.
Texting and talking.
Right.
The telephone company,
Yes,
Bell
sir.
South,
Yes,
Right.
Bell
sir.
South Atlantic.
Right.
Right.
Well, Alexander Graham Bell didn't create the telephone.
That's right.
Right.
He stole that.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
From a black man by the name of Louis Farrakhan.
Yes, sir.
His chief draftsman.
Yes,
That
sir.
was his idea.
That was his idea.
But we didn't have access to the patent office.
Right.
That's right.
We did.
So when you don't have access to the patent office, you don't have the ability to take credit for your idea.
That's right.
That's it.
So all of these great inventions coming up out of the South, but no one ever knew about it.
That's right.
So this is why it's so important that the rise of the South is based in truth and power. Because you
Yes, sir.
need the truth to know who you are.
That's
So
right.
then, that is what gives you power. All praise is due to Allah.
Yes.
All praise is due to Allah. So we are the inventors and builders of civilization.
That's right.
Sir.
But as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us, this goes back, as Brother Albert said, beyond 50,000 years ago.
That's right.
This goes back to the beginning of time,
Right.
our time, which is really no time.
That's right.
Because the scripture says we are the ancient of days.
Think about it.
So there's no time for the original thing.
Right.
And you look at how we built those civilizations. See, the devil is smart. He's wickedly wise as a serpent.
Yes, sir.
He studied us. When he got up out that cave 2,000 years ago, the first thing he didn't do was go and start snatching slaves. That's not what he did.
Correct.
He went and studied us in our home, in our homeland. And what he discovered was our architectural genius. What he discovered was our ability to build civilization, cities, agriculture, plumbing, all these different things they knew nothing about, how to cook their food. They was in a cave for 2,000 years, eating
Yes.
raw meat. That's where they come from.
Yes,
So
sir.
when you go to the Golden Corral and you go to these places and they order steak and they say they
Yes,
want it,
sir.
how do you want it, medium rare or somewhat rare, all the way rare,
Yes,
this is
sir.
where it come from.
Yeah.
Because they're days in the slave, I mean the cave.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? So this is their culture,
No, you're
but
right.
it's not our culture.
That's
That's
right.
right.
So they knew they wanted to have major cities and homes and roads and things of that nature. So the reason they came and got us not was because we was some type of savage, barbaric people swinging from trees with bones in our
No,
nose.
you're right.
Right.
You know, they came and got us because those are the ones that have the mind,
That's it.
those are the ones that have the know-how, those are the ones that have the plan
Yes,
to
sir.
build our heaven on earth.
Yes, sir.
And then they told you, oh, praise be to Allah. Then they told you that heaven was in the sky.
That's right.
They told you that it was a sweet by and by. They told you that when you die, you go to heaven.
That's right.
But they living in heaven as we speak.
Right.
Come on. So they didn't come and round up a bunch of shiftless people. Because if we was that, we wouldn't have been able to endure what we endured.
That's
right.
So because of our lack of knowledge, we are lost in the darkness of ignorance.
That's right.
So now truth and light has to come. And it has to come and wake us up. As the scripture talks about the dry bones in the valley.
Right.
See, there was teaching going to those bones, but they wasn't doing nothing. They wasn't moving. And they didn't start moving until the teaching was over with, and then the wind came. The
That's right.
whirlwind came to shake them up.
Yes, sir.
Well, light is life. But the South must rise. The South must rise today.
Yes, sir.
So, the truth is what's going to allow us to stand up and rise. Because in the Holy Quran, in the second surah, it talks about truth. Second surah, 40th verse. And if you have your Quran, you follow me there. If not, then it's all good. I know some of us don't bring our Qurans out. But then, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But in verse 41, it says, and believe in that which I have revealed, verifying that which is with you, and be not the first to deny. Neither take a mean price for my messages, and keep your duty to me and me alone. And mix not up truth with falsehood, nor hide the truth while you know. So for those of us that got a little bit of money problem, when they come to you on the job and say, I'm going to offer you this position, and it's going to pay you X amount of dollars, but then you actually become the overseer of your people, if you will.
Yes,
Then
sir.
this is what the Quran is talking about when it says not to take a mean price for my messages. So when you look at the divine mercy in our midst today, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he has never been bought.
That's right.
He has never sold out.
No, you're right.
He's never bowed down.
That's right.
Because he has
Right.
never taken a mean price
That's right.
for the messages. So
That's right.
it says to keep your duty to me and me alone. But in the book of John, chapter 8, 32, Jesus says that ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free.
That's right.
Well, what truth is that is going to set us free, Jesus? Because, you know, like I said, a lot of times people have their own version of the truth.
That's right.
So we got to know which truth is going to set us free. But listen to the words of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He says, the truth must triumph over falsehood as day triumphs over night. When we deny the truth, it shows that we love falsehood more than we love truth.
Right.
And if we fear to speak the truth for the sake of falsehood, this is not only hiding the truth, but it's actually showing fear and distrust in the divine supreme being.
Come on.
His wisdom and his power. So when you know the truth but don't speak the truth, you really telling God you don't have enough faith in him. You really telling God that you don't really believe he revealed what he revealed to you.
Come on.
You believe that the white man got more juice than
Come
God.
on.
This is what you're saying when you deny the truth.
That's right.
So we've had fear put into us as babies.
That's right.
So this is why the big man can't shake that fear. This is why the big man can't shake that fear. But we thank Allah for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Come on,
Because he
that's right.
is an example to us today that if you stand on truth in the belly of the beast, you don't have to worry about nothing.
That's right.
Because the minister said that his enemies are greater than all the enemies of the past prophets.
Oh,
his
right.
enemies are greater than the ones that opposed Moses in his day. They're greater than the ones that opposed Jesus in his day. They're greater than the ones that opposed Muhammad in his day.
Yes, sir.
His enemies are greater than all of those enemies combined.
Combined.
This is the mystery Babylon that the Revelations are teaching about.
Yes, sir.
And
No doubt.
this is it that is described as a beast.
Yes, sir.
A beast.
Yes,
And the
sir.
Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has shown us that the truth will triumph.
That's right.
Is that right?
Yes,
Is
sir.
everybody all right?
Yes, sir.
All praises is due to Allah. So there's power in the truth. There's power in the truth only if we believe.
That's right.
See, God has chosen us to be his people.
That's right.
And he said that to Abraham.
Yes, sir.
He said to Abraham in the book of Genesis, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a strange land to a strange people.
Yes,
and will be
sir.
afflicted by that people
That's right.
for 400 years. But after that time,
Come on now.
who gonna come?
God.
Who gonna come?
Ah.
Come on. I'm gonna come.
Yes, sir.
All praises is due to Allah.
Yes,
All
sir.
praises is due to Allah. So God was coming. So that means we got backup.
Come on now.
No,
We got backup. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You know, a lot of us put our trust in the gun. A lot of us put our trust in other people. But the most trust we should have is in the bosom of God Himself.
Yes, sir.
Because He tells us in both Quran and Bible that fear me and fear me alone.
Yes, sir.
And to serve me. And that I will provide all your needs.
All
That's what the
your
book said, right?
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Is that right? So God chose us to be His people. And He has that right because He has the ability to take the kingdom from whom He chooses
That's
and give
right.
the kingdom to who He
No,
chooses. Is
you're
that
right.
right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So He can do that. But we have backup. And the nation of Islam is a light shining right here in America. It's a light
Right.
shining in America.
Yes, sir.
So we're not just a small group of people that are running around selling papers, wearing bow ties, wearing white garments in the heat of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, trying to save black people. We are a group of people that God started.
That's right.
God started the nation of Islam.
Yes, sir.
So we got that power that's backing us today.
Yes, sir. Power of God.
So the power of the truth is that it brings light.
Yes, sir.
And the light is life.
Come on.
Come on now. Come on.
Sir.
So when the truth comes, falsehood vanishes.
That's right.
When light comes, darkness vanishes.
That's right.
So when you see the condition of our people today, in the darkness of America, the light has to come so the darkness can go away.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
And
sir.
the light is what gives life to that which is dead.
Yes, sir.
Speak on it.
So the light of the sun gives life to the creatures on the earth.
That's
Yes,
right.
sir. That's right.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that the power of the truth illuminates the brain
That's what he said.
and causes us to shine and glow.
That's what he
So
said.
this is why you see these beautiful sisters in white and these beautiful brothers over here. The teaching that we have been given allows it to shine through our skin.
That's right.
So we look different from everybody else.
Yes, sir.
We talk different from everybody
Yes,
else.
sir.
We walk different from everybody
Yes,
else.
sir.
But that's because of the truth of what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave us.
No, you're right.
And taught by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has illuminated our minds.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So the
sir.
people are now attracted to us.
That's right.
And now the people, the time is right now
Yes, sir.
for the people to come because there's nothing else for them to go to.
I know that's
It's
right.
the only thing that is all praise is due to Allah. All praise is due to Allah. Because this is the only thing that's left.
That's right.
So we got a starry crown. This one. We got a starry crown. In
Yes,
the
sir.
emblem
Yes, sir.
of the Nation of Islam.
Yes, sir.
For our people. Because there was an old church song, the minister said, that said, I want to exchange that old rugged cross.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And it stands for my own starry crown.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
And the Nation of Islam, we got that starry crown for you. Is that
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
All praises due to
Yes,
Allah.
sir.
So come on home, family,
Yes, sir.
and wear that starry crown.
Yes, sir.
Because that cross, as lovely as our Christian family makes it for us, you know, Jesus didn't always like no cross.
That's right.
The first emblem of the Christians was a fish.
That's right.
When Jesus met Peter, Peter was fishing.
Yes, sir.
And when Jesus got to Peter and started teaching him, he made Peter not a fisherman of the sea, but a fisherman of men. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So the first Christians were going to fish our people out of the grips in the sea of Satan. So the first symbol for Christians was a fish.
That's right.
The cross didn't come into play until Constantine.
That's
He
right.
was the emperor of Rome.
Teach that.
And he had a vision.
Yes, sir.
And in that vision, he saw the cross. And in that vision said that with this sign,
Mm-hmm.
I conquer.
That's right.
So with that sign,